Tonight, at least one home lost and property destroyed as a bushfire bears down on Gingin. We're live to the fire zone. Incredible pictures as a mini tornado tears through our house in our southern suburbs. Denmark ready to crown our Mary as Queen and her husband Frederick as King. Inside the Houthi rebel attack plan, their clear message to America and Israel. A pilot and passenger killed as a light plane crashes near a golf club. And Novak Djokovic takes centre court, chasing his 11th Australian Open title.
Live from Perth, 7 News with Jerrie Demasi.
Good evening and welcome to 7 News. Residents in Gingin are bracing as a bushfire races toward the town. This is a live shot now from the 7 News helicopter above the fire zone. Hot, blustery conditions are making the battle difficult for firefighters, with crews on the ground and in the air. Already one home has been lost, along with sheds and equipment.
A few hours ago, the fire was nowhere near this home, but things changed very quickly this afternoon. Its wooden frame inside alight, the belongings now ash. The spot fires jumping ahead of the blaze are burning indiscriminately. Trees and sheds still stand next to what is now a shell. A wall of flames is raging towards the town of Gingin, egged on by strong winds. Gingin has faced considerable uncertainty for much of the afternoon. It's been under a state of emergency since around midday, along with neighbouring Chitteringshire. The blaze was thought to be under control before that, but the winds picked up and fanned the flames. Beverly Bradley was at home when there was a knock at her door.
Said I need to get out immediately, there's a fire. So basically all I was concerned about was my little Molly. Got her basket and her blanket and her medication, her water. Was out the door in the car and then realised I was in my pyjamas.
Gingin was extra quiet this Sunday, most people staying off the streets, leaving them clear for emergency vehicles. This is what DFS refers to as a complex fire. Aerial bombers flying mission after mission. The flames kept flaring.
Tonight also we're potentially up against some more lightning to come through. Another layer of complexity for the incident. So we're making sure we've got crews in reserve should we have more fires in the landscape. And we have had a couple during the day today.
Extra fire crews from Perth were rushed to protect the town. An evacuation centre has been set up at the Gingin Recreation Hall. Helen Selkirk lives in the path of the fire. She left when she was told.
We were swimming in the pool last night with ash falling and then rain falling, so it was quite interesting. It's scary when you see more, knowing my house is up there somewhere.
This is the intersection of Moolyabini and Old Moolyabini roads near Gingin, the town about a quarter of a kilometre that way. And then above the ridgeline you can see the smoke from the fire that it's pushing down a creek line. Now earlier the winds were pushing those flames towards the Brand Highway and would bypass the town of Gingin, but now the wind has switched. It's at my back and it's pointing straight at the town. It's likely to be a long night for the firefighters and for the folks of Gingin. With homes lost and more under threat, it's fluid and it's frightening, and for some, small things to be grateful for. How's Molly coping?
Oh, she told me she's doing okay. She wants something to eat, but she's a bit greedy.
Right now, there is a bushfire advice for Gingin. Already more than 400 hectares has been burnt out to the southeast of the town. Jeff Parry is in Gingin tonight. Jeff, we've seen the damage. Are there concerns for other properties tonight?
Well, indeed there are, Jerry. A whole town if things go really bad. We've been seeing these water bombers flying over for about the last several hours. We've been watching them, and you look at the fire and the flames and the smoke, and you think that they've got on top of it, and suddenly it just flares up again as those flames find fresh fuel. As you heard the superintendent say, possibility of lightning strikes overnight is a problem. That was the cause of some of these fires, but the wind is the really big unknown factor. It's been boxing the compass the last couple of days, and the last thing that the fire brigade needs or the people of Gingin is for the wind to switch through to the south or the southwest, and that would push those flames. It would get in right behind them and start pushing them back towards Gingin. I'll be back in the bulletin a bit later with another report. Jerry.
Thank you, Jeff. Perth's sweltering heat has also whipped up a freak mini tornado south of the city. The Willy Willy tore through a fence, picking up momentum as it smashed into a front yard. Lucy Murray has this exclusive report.
A dust devil packing quite the punch. This willy-willy ripped through Strawberry Drive in Seville Grove at 1 o'clock today. Guy Dobell says the noise was deafening.
Just a big bang, thought it was a car accident, and out we ran. And we seen the fence was down.
He had to watch his home security vision to work out what had happened. What did your neighbours say when they saw it all?
Everybody was just as shocked. Just shocked.
The vortex of air made light work of the fence and peeled tiles off the home's roof, throwing them 10 metres and into a neighbour's yard. Then silence.
All over as quick as it happened.
The Bureau of Meteorology says whirlwinds are caused by heat coming off the land when the temperature is hot and the winds are light. Perth's hot spell creating the perfect storm to whip up a freak summer squall. Lucy Murray, 7 News.
In just a few hours, the woman once known as Mary Donaldson will become Queen of Denmark. Huge crowds are expected to gather in Copenhagen to watch the Hobart-born crown princess and her prince take the throne. But the ceremonies will be a little different to the ones we're used to seeing in London.
At Amalienborg Palace, the trappings of royalty, the changing of the guard. This the last of the reign of Margrethe II. It's a little like Buckingham Palace, but different.
You can see there's no fences, there's no long guards and high fences, so that the royal family is very close physically, but also to the people as well.
The Prime Minister, representing the people, will proclaim Frederick as king from the balcony of the country's parliament. Inside, he and Mary won't ever actually sit on the thrones, and there'll be no elaborate coronation like this. The last held here in 1657.
We have a society here where a lot of people emphasize very much that everybody should be equal.
Although some are little more equal than others as Copenhagen prepares to celebrate. Margrethe won't be here to see her son proclaimed as king. Once she abdicates, her job is done, quickly returning to Amalienborg, giving Frederick and Mary a clear run. And Copenhagen's Australian community will be watching.
When there's a very special occasion, that the local bakers will produce a special product.
Paulette Christofferson fell for a Dane and moved here, just like Mary.
And I think she represents what Australians can be and where we come from, and she really does that so well.
Her life about to change forever. The crowds definitely are beginning to build here in Copenhagen on what is a very cold, in fact freezing, but thankfully dry day in the Danish capital. In the next couple of hours, Queen Margrethe will leave the palace just across town from here for the final time as monarch in a royal carriage, coming here to the Danish Parliament to sign her abdication papers. She will leave in a car, allowing the new King Frederick X and Queen Mary to ride through the streets of Copenhagen in that same royal carriage for the first time as sovereign and consort. Tens of thousands of people expected here in the capital. Extra trains have been put on right across the country to bring people here to Copenhagen. Extra police, of course, as well. It is a day where an Australian will become queen. Quite a ride for the Tasmanian. Jerrie.
Thanks, Hugh. And Sunrise will have special coverage of the coronation of Frederick and Mary tomorrow morning, crossing to Copenhagen for all the festivities. That's on Sunrise from 5 a.m. Well, police have charged a 33-year-old man over the sexual assault of a 16-year-old girl in a toilet block at Coogee Beach. Fernando Collard faced court today, charged with 1 count of sexual penetration without consent. The Victoria Park man is accused of luring the teenager into the toilet where he allegedly assaulted her. He was refused bail. Andrew Forrest has fired another shot in his long-running war with Woodside, this time heading to the energy giant Scarborough gas field to condemn the project. In a video filmed and released by Minderoo, Andrew Forrest is seen with scientists testing the ocean water and monitoring seismic blasting.
A war of words now being waged on the water. Andrew Forrest hovers over Woodside's seismic blasting operation off the Pilbara coast.
Whales, which are using this as a pristine corridor to go from the tropics to the Antarctic, right over the top of this is this massive explosion-based testing by Woodside.
Australia's richest man weaponising the charity arm of his empire against a rival resource company, releasing a pre-edited video showing Minderoo scientists investigating the impact of Woodside's Scarborough gas plant, the first of many gas projects to be built at Woodside's Burrup Hub.
It will become a feeding fest, a furious zone of oil and gas development.
I was like, good on him. We are seeing more and more business leaders like Andrew Forrest starting to push back and actually acknowledge that gas is not compatible with a safe climate.
Not documented in Andrew Forrest's expedition is his investments in green hydrogen, an alternative to gas, his Squadron Energy's Port Kembla gas plant that supplies New South Wales, or previous comments targeting Woodside CEO Meg O'Neill.
Meg is hard-edge trained by the biggest liar we've ever seen around climate change over the last 40 years, and that's ExxonMobil.
Woodside declined to comment on the expedition or its claims. Instead, it's letting its published emissions data speak for itself when compared to Dr. Forrest's Fortescue mining company. In 2022, Woodside's total carbon footprint was 65 million tonnes, dwarfed by Fortescue's 258 million. Even the lifetime emissions of Woodside's Scarborough plant Dr. Forrest criticises are less than 4 years of his mining operations. The seismic blasting is also regulator approved, carried out beyond known pygmy blue whale migration corridors. Ben Downey, 7 News.
A multi-million-dollar cash injection will help the Australian Border Force crack down on the smuggling and sale of illegal cigarettes and tobacco products. It's a major step up in the fight against the black market trade, which has led to a violent turf war.
Explosions puncture the nighttime quiet as a tobacco shop goes up in flames, the latest in a string of suspected arson attacks in Melbourne's tobacco wars, rival underworld gangs battling for control of the lucrative black market.
Illegal cigarettes and illegal tobacco are an ATM for the illegal activities of organised crime.
Last financial year alone, Border Force seized 1.7 billion illegal cigarettes and 867 tonnes of loose leaf tobacco.
It's only a matter of time before an innocent person gets seriously injured or killed in this war.
To prevent that, the federal government's investing $188.5 million to stamp out the illicit trade, boosting Border Force resources to disrupt smuggling operations and trialling new detection equipment. But retailers say successive governments are partly to blame for the problem.
With the constant excise increases over the last 10 to 12 years, that has seen an explosion in the illegal tobacco market,
forcing smokers to look for cheaper alternatives, robbing the Commonwealth of $3 billion a year in lost tax revenue, preventing the government from investing in a whole range of measures. Among them, perhaps more help for those Australians buckling under soaring energy, housing and grocery bills. As a new poll shows, 80% of voters aren't happy with Labor's handling of the cost of living crisis, with more than 2/3 not expecting any assistance in the next 6 months.
The Prime Minister's been obsessed on every issue but the important ones.
The government insists the most important, tackling inflation, is its highest priority. Rob Scott, 7 News.
It's now 100 days since Hamas terrorists raided Israel in the October 7 attacks triggering the war in Gaza. It comes as the US president delivered a direct message to Iran over the backing of Houthi rebels following a second US strike.
The drums of war deep in the Yemen desert. Allahu Akbar! Houthi fighters trample the American flag, vowing retaliation for this. A second round of US Tomahawks striking Houthi targets before dawn.
As they are probably trying to recalibrate and trying to think through next steps, we were able to hit approximately 16 locations.
Enough firepower to take out a quarter of the rebels' attack capability, according to senior US officials. The Iran-backed militia has threatened more chaos in the Red Sea unless Israel pulls out of Gaza.
This is a war against the axis of evil led by Iran and its three affiliates, the three H's I call them, Hezbollah, Hamas, the Houthis.
The US president saying he's delivered a private message to Iran.
As the West combines forces to contain a regional conflict, Israel's still determined to bring down Hamas and bring home more than 100 hostages held captive for 100 days.
Reminding the world of their plight with this, a replica Hamas tunnel built in Tel Aviv.
I can't speak, it was very difficult to... I can't explain the pain that we have here in Israel.
Ceasefire now! As pro-Palestinian protests are held across the globe from London to the gates of the White House. Israel marking 100 days of war as the death toll grows in Gaza. In Tel Aviv, Ashley Mullaney, 7 News.
2 men have died following a plane crash south of Brisbane. The pilot and his passenger were returning to the airfield when their light plane plummeted outside a packed golf course.
In the scenic rim, a devastating scene. A yellow light plane in pieces. It came crashing down this afternoon in Gingin, an hour and a half west of the Gold Coast. On board, 2 men, aged 69 and 82.
We knew something had gone down there. I suggested to her that it was a plane to start with. A lot of light plane trips, a lot of older planes coming over. They're usually pretty good, but sad that it's happened.
Police say the plane had taken off from the Boona airfield and was returning, but they don't know why its attempt to land ended in tragedy. No mayday call was made.
That is something the investigators will actually have to pursue in terms of any transmissions that were made from the aircraft.
For the rest of the day, the rural road was blocked. Forensic officers and detectives examined the field, trying to piece together the plane's final moments.
There are many members of the community who may have witnessed this particular crash. And our thoughts are also with those persons.
Recreational Aviation Australia will also assist with the investigation. Other pilots here in Gingin have told 7 News this pilot was an experienced flyer. They say they've known him for decades and can't believe what unfolded this afternoon. As a small community searches for answers to find out why a weekend joy flight turned fatal. Georgia Costi, 7 News.
The dangers posed by artificial intelligence will be addressed by new federal laws. Industry Minister Ed Husic confirming a new advisory body is set to work with government and industry and academic experts to provide the groundwork for new legislation.
It's very important to get this right. As most countries agree now, this is a potential, it sounds extreme, but I believe it's true, a potential risk to the existence of mankind.
The body will initially concentrate on high-risk settings such as law enforcement and healthcare. The Australian Open has kicked off on a Sunday for the first time in the tournament's history. Tens of thousands of tennis fans have packed Melbourne Park for the first Grand Slam of the year. Here's Blake Johnson.
They've been here before, but it's been a while. 21 years since Andre Agassi's last Australian Open, 50 years since Yvonne Goolagong-Cawley's first.
When I heard that, I thought, oh, geez, that makes me feel old.
From then to now, there's plenty of change at the Australian Open. This year it starts a day early.
I can't believe how busy it is for a Sunday. I mean, it's jam-packed.
Ticket sales today have been fairly significant, a lot more than we expected.
The extra day allows breathing room in the schedule.
It does take the edge off the late finishes. Doesn't guarantee you won't have them, but it takes the edge off.
Taxis must now use the meter for trips from a rank or hailed from the street. Last year, rogue cabbies quoted extraordinary amounts for short trips leaving Melbourne Park, price gouging a captive market.
We are working with the Australian Open to have marshals, and we are working to ensure that we have regular visits by inspectors.
A new bar at Court 6 was inspected early.
Yeah, not ready yet, but
Keep yourselves nice, courtside.
I think it could be a challenge playing on here later in the day.
The mocktails they've got here and it's delicious.
Australian Open, eyes shut for some. Also open, the wallet.
The tickets I would have spent almost $1,000 because I'm coming 3 days.
So about $110 for tickets. We've got about $30 of stuff in the bag. We'll spend another probably $70 to $100 on the snacks minimum, and the refreshments.
200 tickets roughly. Probably looking at spending around $200 on food, merchandise.
Tickets probably about $350, I think. Drinks
It's an endless tab, let's say.
This year, an expected record 1 million visitors to the Open.
We haven't seen international visitation come back since COVID, but events like this really put us on the international map.
Being out here is incredible to witness firsthand. Seeing how this has grown and yet the seats are full.
Blake Johnson, 7 News.
Up next, new COVID concerns, the alarming jump in the number of infections and deaths. What the latest water testing shows, how much of the virus is in the community. A bone-chilling blizzard blankets parts of America, see the pictures. And how you can get your hands on extra cash by doing a simple test that's coming up on 7 News.
Australian Idol's more than a singing competition.
It's a star-making show.
Someone who can sing, has a sense of style.
Like you.
We're looking for the best of the best.
They're out there, we're going to find them.
I will be shocked to the core if you are not in the top 5.
Imagine we just found the next Australian Idol.
Okay, stop. I can hear your heart beating.
I think you're a freaking superstar.
Thank you so much.
I was not expecting that.
Wow.
Oh my God.
The toughest, most emotional idol ever.
I don't usually cry in the presence of other men. That was so beautiful.
There are singers, then there are idols.
Australian Idol starts Monday, Jan 29.
Want silky smooth skin after every shave? Switch to Venus Comfort Glide White Tea Razor from Chemist Warehouse. This razor has flexible gel bars and 3 blades for fewer nicks and cuts than some disposable razors. For up to 30 days of smooth skin, try Venus Comfort Glide White Tea Razor, now $8.75 at Chemist Warehouse. And replace any Venus razor heads with any Venus blades. Live, look, feel fabulous at Chemist Warehouse.
Mazda BT50, built so you can do what you need to, and so you can do ute. You with all the work demands. You do ute. Wilderness fans. You do ute. Grand plans. You do ute. Pause for hands? Even you do ute. Wherever your inner ute leads, your BT50 will take you there and back again. Mazda BT50. You do ute.
Anything designed to carry the human body must be relentlessly refined and tested. The unique Sealy Posturepedic spring system senses and responds, working to align your body so you can get straight into your day.
Looking for a new local? Grab some mates and crack open a can. Enjoy a happy hour on court. Make your next catch-up a real hit. It's your new local. Tennis court hire. Hits different.
It's Hart & Co.'s Boxing Day sale with huge savings on big brands. Bosch, Fisher & Paykel, Westinghouse, Smeg, Neff, Asco, AEG and more. Sale ends Saturday at Hart & Co. Osborne Park.
Transformed by Luxaflex. With the Luxaflex New Year sale now on, save 20% off our iconic collection of blinds, shutters and awnings.
There's been another drowning in WA, the second in as many days. A man in his 40s was pulled from the water at Albany's Middleton Beach this morning. Despite efforts to revive the man, he could not be saved. It follows the death of another man who was crabbing in Australind last night. He was found unresponsive in the water. An Arctic blast is sweeping across parts of the United States, bringing freezing temperatures, with some areas plummeting to minus 30 degrees. The deadly weather has prompted travel bans, with thousands of flights cancelled and football games postponed.
A bone-chilling blizzard blanketing Iowa, 1/2 metre of snow falling in Des Moines in just 5 days as back-to-back storms smashed the United States. An historic freeze threatens the Republicans' first caucus on Monday, with warnings for life-threatening wind chills.
It's going to be -15, but I'm going to be out there.
Thousands of flights have been cancelled across the country, travel bans enforced in Western New York. This is Buffalo, where the NFL playoff match between the Bills and Steelers had to be scrapped.
The NFL has agreed with our assessment that we need to postpone tomorrow's playoff game.
Tonight's playoff between the Chiefs and Dolphins will be the coldest in history, well below zero.
Greatness! Yeah! How bad do you want it?
Look at the icicles forming.
More than 240 temperature records are set to tumble over the next few days. Up to 3 people have been killed in the storms.
You're talking over 80 million people under some type of wind chill alert.
Coast to coast, almost every state is being hit by wild weather. A huge storm surge inundating Maine. Coastal flooding in Portland saw water levels rise more than 4 metres. This driver makes a daring dash in Massachusetts, but doesn't get far. In the United States, Jacqueline Robson, 7 News.
A deadly mudslide has killed at least 34 people in Colombia. Dozens more were injured, with a search for the missing ongoing after a mountainside gave way under heavy rain. Vehicles were also swept away when a major highway was engulfed. The country's vice president reporting the sad news that most of the victims were believed to be children. Rescuers from across Colombia are now on the scene. A huge fire has torn through a warehouse in Russia. It belonged to the country's largest online retailer, with employees seen running from fire escapes and out of the depot. More than 270 emergency workers were needed to extinguish the blaze, which has been blamed on an electric malfunction. There were no casualties reported. Firefighters have struggled to contain an enormous blaze engulfing 3 oil tankers and a semi-trailer in the US state of New Hampshire. Dozens of crews raced to the scene, spraying the flames with hundreds of litres of firefighting foam. No one was injured and the cause is being investigated. A car has been struck by a tram after the driver attempted a risky manoeuvre in Melbourne CBD. They tried to make a U-turn in front of the oncoming tram, putting the 2 vehicles on a direct collision course. The incident briefly brought the light rail to a standstill. COVID has claimed the lives of 12 people in WA already this year. New Health Department figures show the alarming jump in deaths in the first week of January. Of the deaths, 9 were aged over 80. Water sampling has revealed some good news, showing the level of the virus in the community is dropping. Coming up on 7 News, a special cost of living report, how millions of Australians are missing out on extra cash flow. The simple financial tests that could make you money. Details next. Also, a high-stakes vote in Taiwan with an outcome expected to anger China. And sweet, sweet news for dark chocolate lovers, why the treat might be the key to a healthy heart. That's next.
We've never seen this before.
He's got a reputation for making simple food sensational.
An award-winning celebrity chef.
And he's about to make better homes tastier than ever.
Colin Fasnage joins Better Homes and Gardens.
Flavour meets fun.
That's not a barbecue. This is a barbecue.
In Australia's favourite Friday night tradition.
My first dish, just a taste, things to come.
On the new season of Better Homes and Gardens.
This Feb on 7 and 7+.
Is that land? The generation gap, it's closing.
Being a young person in Australia must be difficult.
Being an old person must be pretty tricky too. Probably. It's okay you spent $368 billion on submarines.
It was an impulse buy.
Well, it's a barbecue for the ages.
Hungry Jack's new Texan Bacon Deluxe. Crispy bacon with double flame grilled beef, Texan smoky barbecue and creamy peppercorn sauce. The new Texan Bacon Deluxe. The burgers are better at Hungry Jack's.
It's time to give your home a fresh look and save up to 40% off indoor blinds and curtains, up to 30% off outdoor blinds, plus save on shutters. For a free measure and quote, call
13 13 15 ABC.
Whether it's setting your aircon to 24 degrees or using your pool pump in the middle of the day, we can all play a part to ensure there's enough reliable power for when we need it. WA, let's make small changes to how we use energy this summer. Authorised by the State Government, Perth.
Hey, Dad. What's the ocean like? Are there animals living underwater? Is the ocean warm?
Yeah, it can be very warm.
You were made to remember some days forever. We were made to help you find the best way there.
Just a bit more practice, I promise.
G'day, how can I help? Toyota fuel discount. Oh.
Service is done, and we fitted that light bar like you asked. Oh, great.
Thanks. Good. This is good. Oh!
What do you think?
Thanks, Mum.
There are oh so many reasons to visit your local Toyota dealer.
Toyota.
Firefighters are battling to control a bushfire burning north of the city. Jeff Parry's in Gingin tonight. And Jeff, is there any clearer picture of the fire damage?
Well, Jerry, we saw one house going up in flames from our helicopter, as we reported earlier in the bulletin. We suspect, and so does DFS, that there is more property that has been lost. DFS aren't able to tell us at this moment exactly what has gone up in flames or how much damage has been done, because they have teams that are trying to get into the area, and they'll tell us probably tomorrow on what the damage has been done. But they're running out of time here. The clock is ticking on the water bombers. We've been hearing them go over constantly trying to get their loads dropped before they lose light. At that stage, they will then have to head back to their bases, and that will leave the fireys on the ground and the people here in Gingin on their own. The problems that they will face overnight, there are two really. Lightning strikes, or the possibility of lightning strikes, and that's what it was responsible for some of the fires. Also, the possibility of wind changes, and if the wind turns and starts pushing those flames from the south or the southwest, that would start pushing the fire back towards Gingin. We'll keep you updated throughout the evening and in sunrise tomorrow morning. Back to you, Jerry.
Jeff, thank you. Beijing warned them not to, but millions of Taiwanese have gone to the polls to elect a pro-independence president. The Chinese Communist Party calls William Lai a troublemaker, but he says he represents democracy.
William Lai will be the man to navigate Taiwan's fraught relationship with China, which sees the island as part of its territory. The vote was close, but he won the majority required to become president and keep the Democratic Progressive Party in power. In his victory speech, the president-elect said it showed the Taiwanese people had not been intimidated by the threats from the Chinese Communist Party.
We're telling the international community that between democracy and authoritarianism, we'll stand on the side of democracy.
His pledge to stand up to China is what secured Lai the presidency, but this election will provoke Beijing. Tensions are already high across the Taiwan Strait, where the Chinese military sends ships and warplanes to conduct daily missions around the island. The Biden administration will soon send an unofficial delegation to Taiwan, a move that could upset Beijing. A senior White House official says a face-to-face meeting is the most effective way to engage the new Taiwanese government and convey US policy in the region. Australia has sent its congratulations.
The government looks forward to continuing our important relationship with Taiwan, obviously in the context of the long-standing bipartisan One China policy.
Particularly in a troubling time, it's important that democracies are able to implement the outcome of the will of the people, and that's what's happened in Taiwan.
The world now waiting for a response from China, who labelled this an election between peace and war. In Washington, D.C., Miley Hogan, 7 News.
There was a delicate rescue operation southwest of Sydney this morning when a woman in her 30s fell from a waterfall. Multiple crews were called to mermaid pools in an area of dense bushland near Tarmore around 8:30. Paramedics treated the patient for cuts and bruises before she was winched out by helicopter. Dashcam has captured a ute smashing into the back of a truck in Queensland. It happened on the M1 at Beenleigh South. The truck driver slamming on the brakes after another car swerved in front. Witnesses say the ute driver was trying to merge into another lane. He was shaken but otherwise okay and taken to hospital as a precaution. A startling number of Australians are being blacklisted from bank loans and credit cards and don't even know it. As more people turn to credit to survive the rising cost of living, financial experts say understanding what you can borrow is more important than ever.
It can mean the difference between getting a loan or not.
A credit score is a number between 0 and 1,000, and it lets the banks know how trustworthy or reliable you are as a borrower.
And the higher the number, the better.
Roughly about 660 or thereabouts. Above that is a good score. Above 850 is supposed to be excellent, of which many people don't pass.
Research by Finder shows around 40% of Australians have a score under that benchmark.
And that's 40% that could end up having to pay higher interest rates or be rejected when it comes to looking to obtain further finance in the future.
71% or more than 14 million Australians don't even know their credit score. That includes 21% who don't know what it is or how to check it, and 9% who are too scared to check.
If you want a home loan, a personal loan, a car loan, then banks will assess you based on that credit score.
The good news is you can improve your score by consolidating any debts and reducing any credit limits you're not using.
It can take a couple of years for the credit score to be bumped up if you're going to improve it. So the sooner you can get on it, the better.
You can check your credit score online for free. Melina Saris, 7 News.
Next, a tribute to the Queen of Soul. From the Opera House to Joondalup, the sound of Aretha Franklin. Also, get your squeaky toys ready. The countdown is on to one of America's greatest shows, plus the unexpected perk of dark chocolate. That's next.
And coming up in sport, one of WA's greatest cricketers calls stumps on his professional career. Plus, the Scorchers sign a big name as they push for a third straight title.
This new year is packed with new beginnings.
Today, I finally felt like I was free again.
The drama is just getting started.
What are you doing?
You can't miss a moment of Home and Away this week on 7 and 7+.
At Coles, our experts go to great lengths for quality. Here, there, everywhere. It's why our Aussie grazed cattle and lamb roam free in open pastures.
Ladies and gentlemen, your grass is served.
And it's why we taste test all our Coles own brand products again.
More chocolate.
And again.
Less chocolate.
And again.
Perfect.
Because when you go to great lengths, you get great quality food. Great lengths for quality. That's Coles.
Shop now at Gym Kids Sports. Over 100,000 pairs of running shoes heavily reduced on big brands Asics, Adidas, Mizuno and Brooks. Your one-stop back-to-school shop. Shop in-store, online or click and collect at Gym Kids Sports.
Right now at Carpet Call, you can order our plantation shutters from just $275 per square metre. But hurry, this special offer won't last. So, to transform the look of your home, you know who to call.
The experts in the trade.
Mazda BT50, built so you can do what you need to, and so you can do ute. You with all the work demands. You do ute. Wilderness fans. You do ute. Grand plans. You do ute. Pause for hands? Even you do ute. Wherever your inner ute leads, your BT50 will take you there and back again. Mazda BT50. You do ute.
Moving home? Don't do it alone. Need some space? We know a place. For every stage of life, Storage King has hassle-free storage solutions. Store before the end of Feb and get 1 month storage free. Storage King, the kings of storage, moving and more. Conditions apply.
This summer at Macca's, value means more than ever.
Like our loose change menu, which now comes with a lot more sharing. There's also more family time, thanks to the Macca's bundle range. And rewards and deals every week on the My Macca's app mean more reasons to treat yourself. Whatever it means to you, value means more at Macca's.
Andy, can't stop, Ashwin. Loan application time.
Applying for a loan isn't as hard as you think. With an easy online application, ANZ GoBiz is the loan without the groan. Search ANZ GoBiz.
7 News knows Perth.
Headlines flash by all day.
But to know the news, watch 7 News at 6 o'clock.
And here's why.
It was members of the gang crime squad that arrested him.
Our reporters are newsbreakers.
Are you a victim of their negligence?
With more exclusive reports
that dig deeper
and demand answers.
We commit to travel to wherever the stories happen, even the front line.
Chris Reason from Channel 7 Australia.
As international news unfolds in Europe.
We're live to you at 6 p.m.
Breaking down the global issues that matter back home in Perth. 7 News understands.
Our reporters travel from suburb to suburb.
Here in Joondalup
and across our state to bring you the news.
I can confirm.
This is the team we trust.
And thank you
for trusting 7 News.
Now, Fuel Watch. Perth's petrol prices brought to you by Fuel Watch and 7 News.
New research suggests eating dark chocolate could help to lower your blood pressure. Scientists in China have been exploring the relationship between dark chocolate intake and cardiovascular disease. They believe natural compounds found in the chocolate can prevent clots and improve blood flow, contributing to a person's overall heart health. Move over Super Bowl, the trailer has dropped for one of the most highly anticipated American sporting events of the year. Final preparations are underway for Puppy Bowl. The festival will see 130 pups face off in a blockbuster football game, Team Rough taking on Team Fluff in a 3-hour live event next month. It's held annually and raises funds for US animal shelters. Joondalup's award-winning festival is set to return for another year, and this time there's a new headline act. Fresh from sold-out shows at the Sydney Opera House, a tribute to one of the greatest singers of all time is heading our way.
While I'm dropping nothing of us.
A haunting rendition.
Say a little prayer for you.
From one Australian soul singer to the original Queen, ARIA-nominated Emma Donovan will soon light up at Joondalup University for the WA premiere of Aretha.
I just take my time.
Honouring the legacy of the global superstar.
A lot of energy, get ready to have a dance. All of Aretha's songs, you know, they're going to lend themselves to us and make us feel really good for the night.
It's all part of this year's Joondalup Festival, which last year took out a National Event Award.
Really excited about this year. We're hoping to take it to the next level again with around half a dozen or so key marquee shows spread right across the city of Joondalup.
There'll be a pram jam and an electric kingdom, but organisers expect Aretha to be a highlight. Emma and the 5 other stars of the show, all women, will perform to 4,000 people. And the tickets are subsidised. Even the best seats in the house will set you back less than $80. There'll be 2 performances of Aretha at Edith Cowan University on the 8th of March and 9th, which is International Women's Day.
I'm in love with you.
Alice Murray, 7 News.
Sumo superstars bound for Australia. Still to come. Larger than life and heading down under. Meet the wrestling royalty ready to convert Aussies to their sporting religion. Don't miss that story soon on 7 News. But first, Anna's back with more sport. Anna, Sean Marsh has called time.
Yeah, he has, Jerry. It was Aaron Finch last night, and on Wednesday we will farewell the West Aussie great. Plus, the Scorchers sign a familiar name as they chase a third straight title. And all the highlights from the Australian Open as Novak Djokovic takes centre court.
It puts the fun back into brushing with exciting flavours. Live, look, feel well at Chemist Warehouse.
Wanneroo GWM run-out sale is on now. Massive discounts across Haval SUV and Canon Ute range. Save up to $4,000 on selected vehicles, all with 7-year unlimited kilometre warranty.
If my deal doesn't tempt you, nothing will.
For billions of years, Mother Nature has been creating natural, rare and precious diamonds. And Solid Gold has been selecting only the very best to be handcrafted into a timeless symbol of your love. Nothing compares with the Solid Gold promise.
The Red Dot and Red Dot Home Pool sale is on now. Small portable folding pool $99 and large pool just $149. Available in 2 sizes, no inflation required. Visit reddot.com.au for locations.
The King Living Summer Sale ends soon. Save up to 50% on Australian-designed indoor and outdoor furniture. This summer, come home to King. Sale ends soon.
Listen up.
Somehow, what you wrote in your Argyle series turned out to be real. And now every spy in the world is coming after us.
I am a writer.
I can't pull off a spy mission.
I want all assets fixed on them now.
We're gonna jump.
What?
Are you okay? I know how stressed you get with work.
It's time for you to meet Agent Argyle.
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 This is it.
Yeah, this is it.
Call Sarah. Sarah? Hiya.
That'll be a home loan approval.
That's fast.
We're not going to let this one get away.
With a fast NAB home loan approval, our experts are here to help. NAB, more than money.
When you need fences and gates, get it done right with Perth's leading fencing company, Fence Makers. WA owned and operated just like me. Call us today at Fence Makers and tell them Benny sent you.
Overstock sale, all heavily reduced.
2022 MG3s are just 16,999. 2022 MG ZS6i are just 21,999. All with new car warranty until 2029.
johnhughes.com.au.
Say hello to the new McCrispy Bacon Deluxe. And say g'day to the return of the Aussie Angus Deluxe with beetroot. Macca's summer menu. Looks like summer just got yummer.
Here you go, beautiful.
Excuse me.
Get another look with your New Year benefits. Get 2 designer pairs, no gap, with selected health funds. Should have gone to Specsavers.
Welcome back. One of WA's greatest cricketers has called stumps on his professional career. After retiring from state cricket last year, Shaun Marsh says Wednesday night will be the last time he'll play in the Big Bash. Meanwhile, the Scorchers have signed on a familiar face as they chase a third straight title.
25 summers of this.
Gee, that's well timed.
That's a great shot, actually. It's a brilliant shot. And still winning games off his own bat.
Almost. Smashed away by Marsh. Fitting he hits the winning runs. The Renegades have their second win of the season.
2 titles with the Scorchers, more than 2,800 BBL runs at an average of 40, higher than anyone inside the top 30 scorers. An unbeaten 64 last night, helping great mate Aaron Finch finish on a high.
Yeah, I'm a bit lost for words, actually. It was nice to go out with a win, especially against the Stars.
Greeted with a guard of honour as he walked out to bat for the final time, but no farewell fireworks.
Straight up in the air. Of all the people, Maxwell takes the catch.
A duck to finish although still a standing ovation. The Scorchers have brought on a former teammate of them both, Marcus Harris, returning to Perth, who've now lost import Zach Crawley, and will lose Laurie Evans after Tuesday's clash with the Sixers. In the longer form, strapping in for a new chapter, one that's been brewing for 6 months.
I might have even floated in England just randomly and said I'll get up top and I'm happy to play up top. I don't think they sort of took me seriously until I got to Sydney.
Jokes aside, Australia's new opening partnership will get its first test on Wednesday against the West Indies. Smith says he hasn't contemplated what will happen if his experiment fails.
I don't have a date in mind of when I want to finish up playing, so yeah, I'm just taking it game by game.
The 34-year-old reinvigorated by a new challenge.
You're pretty game, I suppose, if you're with the brand new ball bowling short stuff and wasting it, but yeah, that's up to each opposition, I suppose. Old ball, new ball, doesn't really make a difference.
Lockie Burns, 7 News.
It's been a mixed start for Australia on day one at Melbourne Park as one of Novak Djokovic's biggest threats kicked off his campaign in style. A major upset loomed for Grand Slam debutant Dane Sweeney before falling in 5 sets.
A former king of Melbourne Park coming across his queen. Between them, Andre Agassi and Steffi Graf share 8 Oz Open titles, dwarfed by Novak Djokovic's 11. Alex de Minaur's campaign to begin in 24 hours. Other young Aussies taking centre stage on day one. Dane Sweeney earning his opportunity the hard way through qualifying. A Leighton Hewitt clone with a backhand to match.
Oh, yes.
And determination to win.
Hello, how you going?
A Hewitt-esque comeback on the cards from 2 sets to 1 down.
That's wine. OK, put the kettle on.
Running out of steam in the 5th, can still hold his head high, pushing 22nd seed Francesco Cerundolo to the brink. Wildcard Adam Walton had his opponent on the run.
I wish I had that flexibility.
Outclassed in straight sets, Matteo Arnaldi booking a potential date with de Minaur. Straight sets, but not straightforward for 4th seed Yannick Sinner.
Oh, stop it!
How did he win that point?
Losing the point, but winning the match. Delighting the Carrick boys, childhood friends who follow the red-headed Italian on tour. Coached by Darren Cahill, a win of sorts for Australia today. Taylor's campaign almost on the fritz after an awkward landing for the American 12th seed who returned following treatment on his left ankle.
Oof, there it goes. That's not good.
While Russian Pavel Kotov is lucky he wasn't disqualified for narrowly missing a ball girl after this outburst on the outside courts. Brett Thomas, 7 News.
And Djokovic has launched his Australian Open campaign this evening against young Croatian Dino Prismic. Djokovic took the first set 6-2, but the 18-year-old fought back in the second to win the set in a tiebreak.
He's got the error and he's got the set. We've got a match on our hands. The defending champion drops the second to an 18-year-old Croatian.
Prismic is keeping up with Djokovic in the third. Bryce Cotton and Ty Webster combined for 54 points to help guide the Perth Wildcats to a 21-point win over the South East Melbourne Phoenix at RAC Arena last night.
There's the steal. Here comes Pinder. Oh! Keanu Pinder! What about that?
French star Alex Sarr is expected to return this Friday against the Brisbane Bullets at home. The Cats then take on the Kings in Sydney on Sunday. Graham Arnold is under no illusions his Socceroos need significant improvement if they're any chance of winning the Asian Cup. With Tim Cahill watching on, the frustrated Aussies laboured a 2-0 win over India.
Cross on Gurpreet only touched it into the path of Jackson Irvine, and that mistake allows Australia to open the scoring.
We're here to win the Asian Cup, and you have to reach for the stars. And you have to have high expectations and put those expectations on the boys.
The Socceroos face Syria on Thursday night. Sam Kerr has given a positive update from her hospital bed after knee surgery. The Matildas captain says she's on the road to recovery and asked for any Netflix recommendations. It took Adam Taggart less than 7 minutes to continue his amazing run of form for the Glory.
For Khalifi, who's putting it back to Taggart, and Adam Taggart just cannot stop scoring this season.
The game against the Wellington Phoenix turning into a goal fest. Alex Shushnia had the best. This long-range stunner, the top of the table Phoenix, too strong in the end, winning 4-3. If you thought playing sport in winter was tough, it's got nothing on Kansas City for today's wildcard playoff game against Miami. In one of the coldest NFL matches ever, temperatures plummeted to -20. This bottle of water froze in just a matter of seconds after it was taken out of the fridge. Not even Super Bowl winning coach Andy Reid's moustache was
Look at the
safe.
eye circles forming.
The Chiefs can thaw out after a 26-7 win, much to the delight of Taylor Swift. Tomorrow's Bills-Steelers game has been postponed by a blizzard in Buffalo. Houston ended Joe Flacco's journey from the count to the playoffs with a 45-14 win over Cleveland. That's all in sport, Jerry. Really sad for Sean Marsh, but what an amazing career.
Yes, we wish him and his wife Beck all the best. An international sumo competition will be held in Australia for the first time in almost 50 years. Stars of the sport will be giving audiences a unique insight into ancient Japanese traditions.
Festival Hall, famously shaken up by rock royalty. And now slammed by sumo wrestling royalty.
Hi everyone, see you soon in Australia.
Hiroki Sumi, 260 kilograms, two-time Japanese divisional champ. Next Friday's headline act, determined to convert us to his religion.
It's really enjoyable for me to show sumo around the world, showing traditional Japanese culture.
Also coming, Rami Elgazar, 240 kilograms, Egyptian star of the American sumo circuit. You win by pushing your opponent to the ground or out of the ring.
When you see it from outside, you feel like, oh, just two fat guys push each other. No, you can find your way to win in just blink of your eye, like really quick.
Oh, he pushed him out, doesn't he? He pushed him out, yeah.
Melbourne fans love sumo on YouTube. Seeing it live, a dream come true.
If you hear the impact, the collision, it's like two cars hitting each other. You can hear the sound, you can feel the intensity.
It's a way of life, it's something to be celebrated.
And you appreciate the art behind it.
The history in this sport, you get really excited day after day when you know more about sumo.
Nick McCallum, 7 News.
We're in the middle of a hot spell in Perth. I'll have all your weather details coming up right after this break.
Forensics. I want a team here within the hour.
Vera, this February on 7 and 7+.
At Woolworths, we can help you spend less today with great weekly specials across the store, like half price on Peter's drumsticks. That's today's fresh food people.
Elevate the style of your home with the Choices Flooring Spaces for Living sale. Redefine comfort and reveal the true beauty of your living spaces with our stylish range of carpet, timber, laminate or luxury vinyl flooring options. And create the look you've been searching for with the latest window furnishings and designer rugs. Go online and download the Spaces for Living sale catalogue. It's packed full of savings and ideas to revive and redesign your home. Sale now on.
One day, the sky will be so clean that you can see the man in the moon. Mum says her choice of car is down to earth. So why is it hurting it? New speed limit. I better tell Dad.
Our backseat drivers are our future, so we're driving change for the road ahead. RAC, for the better.
New Style's massive summer sale is now on.
Beat the heat and secure your home by installing new style roller shutters. Enjoy your alfresco this summer by installing premium quality outdoor blinds. Call New Style Shutters today and save.
Porsche, Tesla, Mercedes, BMW, Audi, Lexus, Volvo, Land Rover. Find and drive your dream car at John Hughes Prestige in Welshpool or go to johnhughes.com.au.
Our teacher taught us about a place called Africa. She say our mamas come from Queens over there.
All I had was my sister, but I ain't seen her in years. I was married to a man I didn't love.
It's time for you to see the world. You got to stand up. Now we're talking.
The Colour Purple.
The world needs natural resources to build and power our future. For 25 years, Glencore has responsibly mined the metals and minerals that advance everyday life, that power our homes and businesses and are used to create almost everything around us, from smartphones and electric cars to renewable energy for a low-carbon future, while becoming one of the world's largest mining companies you've probably never heard of. Glencore, advancing everyday life.
My name is Kennedy Charrington. I am an athlete. I play in the NRLW space, but I'm also a TikTok content creator. In terms of the NRLW game, I've had a hand in growing that because of TikTok. All these amazing things that I never thought were possible before TikTok.
The Cult, recruiting young girls from Aussie shopping centres.
The directive was to find white women.
Brainwashed, shipped to South Korea and trapped.
He's a dangerous person and he sickens me.
What we have uncovered will shock you. On Spotlight. Next up on 7 and 7+. Monday on 7 News. The revolutionary prostate cancer surgery. Changing the lives of thousands of Australian men left shattered by devastating side effects.
We get to change these men's lives.
A special health report, only on 7 News, Monday.
Well, the heatwave continues in Perth today, but we will feel some much welcome relief this week ahead. Today, not quite as severe as yesterday. We got to 36.6 this afternoon. Tomorrow, it'll be hot over in Adelaide too, 34 there. Showers for Brisbane and Sydney and 28 in Melbourne. Back west, storms about the Kimberley and strong winds through the Pilbara forecast. Grey skies over the goldfields, hot in the southwest. Busselton should hit 36. On the water, winds becoming southwesterly up to 15 knots, seas and swell around 1 metre. In the city tomorrow, 34 is the prediction, a little warmer on Tuesday, 35, then cooling down to 31 on Wednesday, Thursday 28 and Friday 29 before what's shaping up to be a mild summer weekend. That's 7 News for now. I'll be back with evening updates, and for the latest news you can head to 7news.com.au. Sunrise has special coverage of the coronation of Frederick and Mary from 5 a.m, and Susanna is back tomorrow night. Enjoy the rest of your evening here on 7.
The audience is advised that the following program involves